Hi guys, and welcome to our Dark World deck profile that we used in YCS Long Beach. I'm going to give a quick overview of all the cards that we were using that made our deck unique, my overall strategy on what I tried to do that weekend, and why it didn't seem to pan out. 1. Deck list down below. You can see exactly what we were playing. And you're going to make faces and be like, what the heck is that? But honest to God, we had good reason for it. I came up with this concept a little while ago and it seemed to work. We changed the deck too much before the tournament because we started panicking, and I don't think we altered it enough to make it exactly the way we should have. So number 1, you're going to notice that we only have 6 discard outlets, with 4 of them being actual things that activate Dark World effects. We didn't actually care so much about activating the effects, it was more about abusing Grapha over and over and over again and getting him in the graveyard consistently. That is why we played cards like Armageddon Knight. You summon Armageddon Knight, you send Grapha to the graveyard. You're already set up in this good position. Grapha himself, if you draw into him, you need a discard outlet to get him into the grave, then you need to summon a Dark World and bounce it back. It's a lot of work. So we were just trying to cut the middleman and just send it to the graveyard right away and get the combos going. We also opted to playing Pot of Duality. We didn't have to special summon all the time, and again, we needed to set up our combos so that we could control the game and beat you down. So it was good. We used 3 Snoww, 3 Broww, 1 Beiige, and 3 Grapha. That's all the Dark World we used. It was probably too many in theory, because again, since we didn't have so many discard outlets, Snoww and Broww were dead far too often. It really wasn't that great. Upon losing, I realized that we probably should have played less Dark Worlds, so that our hands would have been less dead. I literally sat there for turns on dead Graphas and dead Snowws, wishing I had ways to discard them. If I wasn't playing them to begin with, the deck would have ran a lot smoother. I also main decked 2 Thunder Kings because I was technically worried that the Rabbit matchups would be running wild, plus the Hero matchups. This should shut them down and slow them down a lot. So I figured we threw 2 Thunder Kings in there, and every time I did draw it, it was helping a lot, and my opponent had to waste a lot of resources to get rid of it. Our spicy main deck tech was Dark Smog. I really liked this card. It really helped against certain matchups, and again, it helped us get our discard options. But again, if we were playing less Dark World, I wouldn't have to play this, and I'd have a lot less dead combo-y cards. The last card that I'm going to be giving a long in-depth conversation about was Raigeki Break. Raigeki Break was seeing a lot more play because of Insectors, and because it helped get stuff in the graveyard in Insectors. So you dump the Hornet, and you can set up your combos. Same thing with our deck. We want to dump the Grapha. So, Raigeki Break. You can chain it to MST, you can chain it to whatever you need to, pop an Insector, get it off the field, pop one of the 2 normal dinosaurs off a Rescue Rabbit, then they're both gone. It helps. Plus you throw Grapha in the graveyard for later. It's perfect. Raigeki Break, perfect choice. Again, the problems were that we used too many Dark World monsters. We also changed the main deck to only have 2 tour guides because 3 was dead. I know this sounds ridiculous, and again, I'm going to probably get a lot of weird, questionable hate, but you play 3 tour guides. Your 3 targets are Broww and maybe a Sangan. Okay? You bring out your Broww and you want to bounce it for Grapha. What do you do with that little tour guide? She stays there and she dies for no reason. That wasn't helping the game state. Sure, you can go into big exceeds and stuff, and that was helpful, but a majority of the time, you're going to just bounce for Grapha to keep your +1 up more of a +1. But that tour guide that's on board is now sitting there for you to die. Especially when you're getting lower and lower in life points, that tour guide becomes very, very, very scary to play. And it forces you to make exceeds, instead of bouncing for Grapha, which the whole point of the deck is to get Grapha back on the board. So it was kind of weird that, we decided to take out the tour guides. It was the right play, it was the right choice. It gave us less of targets against Maxx. Maxx was so dead against us majority of the time because, again, a lot of our stuff was inherit, or we could prevent any more special summoning other than a tour guide play. Veiler, what are they Veiler? They could just Veiler tour guides and Armageddon Knights. Pretty good. So again, you can check over the deck list down below. I am working on it to make it better. We last minuted a lot of things for that deck, and if I would have spent more weeks preparing for it, instead of working on 6 other decks beforehand, we probably would have done better. Either way, I hope you like the idea. I promise it has lots of potential. I also found this other video talking about the top 3 decks and great cards that no one is side decking that you should be side decking to help combat them. I'm going to give you guys a link as an annotation right about here, as well as down in the description. check it out. Honestly, very helpful information. He tops like every YCS this guy goes to, so you really should check him out. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys later.